Let me know if you can relate in the comment section, because after watching that Dolphins and Bills game last night and watching Tua Tagovailoa, it just made me even more grateful than we already were that Lamar Jackson is our starting quarterback. But anyway, there's an injury concern that I've been a bit worried about, especially after that Browns game, and that is of Nate Wiggins. Nate Wiggins, amazing cornerback. He's really been doing this thing ever since he's come into the league. And in that Browns game, he had just a great game. Got an interception, almost took it back for a pick six. Just came up a little bit short. But Nate Wiggins in that game, Jeff Zrebiec, he talked about it. He said that he came up like limping a little bit after the celebration because Chidobe Awuzie, he was really, really excited. He ended up jumping on Nate Wiggins, sort of like Zach Orr does when he gets super, super hyped, but he ended up jumping on Nate Wiggins, and Nate Wiggins ain't been the same since. Jeff Zrebiec said he was kind of like hobbling around to end the game. He did finish it out, but he just did not look himself at all. So I was like, okay, all right, that's a little bit concerning, but all right, he finished out the game, so he should be straight. But then practice happened yesterday, and there was no Nate Wiggins, and they're calling it a groin injury. And I was like, oh, okay, no Nate Wiggins. But then, all right, well, what's going to be the update from John Harbaugh? But when Harbaugh spoke about Nate Wiggins, he said that hopefully Nate Wiggins can practice tomorrow, which would be today. And obviously, hopefully, he does. But with John Harbaugh, normally, if a player is good, and now Harbaugh did say it's not anything long-term, it's not a season-ending injury, anything like that, which is great. But normally when Harbaugh speaks about injuries and the hope and expectation is that somebody's going to be back tomorrow, he said, no, he'll be fine. He should be practicing tomorrow. But Harbaugh said hopefully he can practice tomorrow. And hopefully this is just me looking too deep into it, but that did not sound too promising at all. Because Nate Wiggins, he's such a big part of everything that we want this Baltimore Ravens defense to accomplish. He is our starting outside corner. And Nate Wiggins he had an amazing rookie year, in my opinion. Obviously, it started off a little bit slow because he wasn't getting the play time like that. But as the season went on, he gradually played more and more snaps, then ended up being a starter, and he really did his thing. And we expect to see a lot of that same stuff this year with Nate Wiggins and from Nate Wiggins. So with him being hurt, however hurt he is, it does definitely hurt this Baltimore Ravens defense, especially when you got a big game coming up like you got against the Detroit Lions. Now, I know we do still have, obviously, Marlon Humphrey, who he got hurt in that Browns game. He left the game early, but he was at practice yesterday, so that was a good thing. We obviously got Jaire Alexander, so just in case Nate Wiggins can't go, Jaire Alexander going to be called up. And with Jaire Alexander, he might be back in the lineup after being given last week off. We'll see, but it is nice to have him in our arsenal. And, of course, we got Chidobe Awuzie as well, TJ Tampa. We got Ruben Lowry, Keon Mon. We have a lot of depth at cornerback, so that's a beautiful thing. But we still want our guys to be healthy. So with Nate Wiggins, hopefully later on today when the Baltimore Ravens do practice, we can see that number 2 out there. But if not, we do have backup just in case. We in a good mood. We're going to have a great day today. And I feel like, you know what? Let's get to my favorite part of these videos, and that's where we get to hear from you. Send me an email at teamkeepitclean@gmail.com, or if you want to show the channel a little extra support, you can go to patreon.com/Ingravenvids and become a Team Keep It Clean patron and send a DM with your question there. First question came from my guy, Ty. He said, Browns post-game thoughts. Today, brother, hope you're hyped still after we put the belt to behind on the Browns. Hey, I appreciate you keeping that clean, my friend. But anyway, he said, saw a lot of stuff I liked in that game. I just have a few concerns, slight, but concerns nonetheless. Oh, I get it. I get you. I completely understand that. That's how I feel about Nate Wiggins. I'm concerned about his injury. Slight concern, slightly concerned, not overly concerned, but concerned nonetheless. Anyway, he said first, conditioning. It looked to me a little like when Nate got that pick. Beautiful play, by the way, that he seemed a bit slower than last pick he caught. Or as a matter of fact, last year in general. Maybe it's me, but he seems not sluggish per se, but maybe just a bit heavier than before, and that brought his speed down a bit. Maybe I'm wrong or reading too deep into it, though. He did say he added, I think, like 10 pounds of muscle this offseason, something like that. But now, also like we were talking about earlier, could he have even been hurt before Chidobe Awuzie jumped on him? Could he have been? I don't know. Because, yeah, it was weird that, like, Nate Wiggins, somebody who runs, a 4.2, he got caught. And it was the lineman had a good angle on him. So, he had a good angle on him, and he had a good ankle on him, too, because it was literally like an ankle tackle. So, yeah, it could be anything. Anyway, he said, second, Lamar looked a little off this game. I'm concerned he was dealing with a bit of an injury and just worried if it'll have any future effects still. I hope not, but we got the Lions followed by the Chiefs the next 2 weeks, and we really can't afford for him to be hurt, especially because both of those teams got some big hitters that can find their way to the backfield. They certainly do. Now, with Lamar, I think he was definitely off this game because just the way he wasn't out running at all. And Lamar not going to run like crazy every single game, but he was holding back. But then there was a run, I want to say it was in the third quarter, where he faked the handoff to I forgot who, but then he kept it himself and he took off. So he looked just fine. But I think early on he might have been a little sore from that leg because he got whacked in that Bills game. He got whacked. Ed Oliver was just wreaking havoc all game long in that Bills game. But he got Lamar bad on one of those shots, the one that he said he was cramping on and stuff. So, hey, maybe he was just feeling the after effects from that. Who knows? Because football, obviously a very physical sport. Lamar Jackson is a quarterback that players get extra physical with him. It's part of the game. And there's sometimes when flags get called, a lot of times that they don't. But Lamar, he gets hit sometimes, not too often. But when he gets hit, like people I feel like a lot of players feel like with Lamar, like, hey, if I get a shot on Lamar, I'm getting a shot on Lamar because them shots don't come too often. But anyway. He also said, lastly, I just have a bit of concern with Derrick Henry. Maybe not in terms of his speed and production or making grown men look like children, but fumbles in back-to-back games is extremely out of character for him, for sure. You're 1,000,000% correct on that one. And I think every single Ravens fan, every single football fan would agree. Very uncharacteristic of Derrick Henry to be fumbling like that. He's on pace for 17 touchdowns. He's also on pace for 17 fumbles. Now, I know we ain't going to fumble no 17 times. Of course not. But, yeah, you got to hold on to that ball. Anyway, he said, both were punch-outs, which usually means it was just a great defensive play by the other side, but still, it's concerning. I understand. I know the games against the Browns especially are weird with Henry. He averages roughly 55 yards per game against them, which is low compared to what we're used to. So I really ain't too concerned about his low numbers this week because it happens sometimes. I'm just still concerned about the fumbles. I understand. You got every right to be. Fumbled once in the first game, fumbled another time in the Browns game. So, yeah, I get it. He said, anyway, let me know what you think. And like those Lions are going to be after getting whooped at M&T Bank Stadium, I'm out. Oh, yeah, I love it. Can't wait, man. Sigh. Next question came from my guy Trey, but the timing, he sent this right before the Browns game and way after the Bills game, so we had never got a chance to get to it. But he said, what's up, Ingraven? As always, I hope you and the family are doing well. Hey, we certainly are, Trey. I hope you're doing even better. He said, I haven't seen anything since draft day. I had Malachi Starks in a list of players I did not want, but I was quickly on board with the pick once I heard his interview after he went across the stage. He's going to be a great player for us. I wish he didn't drop that pick, though. Oh, yeah, that would have been nice, man, because he said he wanted to pick off Josh Allen. That would have been a beautiful way to get his career started, but it is what it is. He said, I haven't watched anything Ravens related since the loss until yesterday. Now I'm catching up. I just have one question. What does John Harbaugh get paid to do? I'm honestly still heated from Sunday night. Not only did I watch the game with my parents who are Bills fans and I got cooked, but it's the way we lost. Oh, man. Your own parents, Bills fans. Well, at least you made it out. You made it out good, man, becoming a Ravens fan, but your own parents, your people, your family. Hey, Bills fan. Oh, that got to be rough, man. But anyway, he said, it seems like every single loss the Ravens have had the last few years, except the 2024 Eagles game, has been in the same fashion. Big lead, get complacent, choke the lead, lose. I'm so fed up with it. We've all seen a graphic with the scores of Ravens up big and still losing. We have had different offensive coordinators, different defensive coordinators, players, strength, conditioning staff, and still we see the same movie play out, just a different day. I can't express enough how much I want Harbaugh fired. It's been overdue. I've been wanting him gone since I was in high school. I've been out since 2021, and he's still here. And not only is he still here, but he keeps getting extended. I hype up Eric DeCosta because he works his magic, and the rosters overall have been great the last few years, but his inability to put any pressure on Harbaugh or demand he change his ways is the biggest reason the Ravens haven't won yet with him as general manager. That's not on Eric DeCosta. That would be on Steve Bisciotti. That wouldn't be EDC's call. That wouldn't be EDC's move. That would be on the owner. That would have to come from Bisciotti. But anyway, continue. He said, "You can't tell me that Wink, Mike McDonald, and now Zach or all just decide to play 50 yards off as soon as they get a 10-point lead." Then he points the finger at anyone but himself. "Fire him, please." And just like Harbaugh should have been a very long time ago, I'm out. Oof. It's powerful from my guy Trey. He's tired, fed up. He's done. But hey, let's see how the season goes. Obviously, they had a big bounce-back game against the Cleveland Browns, and what they showed in that game seemed to be a significant change from within the organization to where the Baltimore Ravens were like, look, we have a big lead, but we're going to add to that big lead. We're not going to take our foot off the gas. Let's see what they do against Detroit, game by game. Obviously, Harbaugh's not going to go anywhere during this season. We know that. But let's see how he does for the entirety of this season. Let's see how they do once they get to the playoffs. They got to make it there first. So obviously you got to have a good enough regular season to make it there first. Because I don't want to just be talking playoffs. Oh yeah, playoffs for sure. This is what they're going to do in the playoffs. They got to get there first, one step before the next. But let's just see how everything goes, and we'll see where we stand once the season ends. Next question came from my guy, Twan. He said, "Peace to you, and I hope all is well." I appreciate that, Twan. He said, "I appreciate everything you do for the Ravens and love your energy. Got a couple of questions for you as well. Should we be concerned about Jaire Alexander?" No, I wouldn't say so. Not for the long term. Because early on, we got to remember with Jaire Alexander, he had missed like a month of practice. And he had only practiced in full for like 1 or 2 days. He was limited the first day, then practiced in full for the last 2 days right before that Bills game. And yeah, it was rough. It was a rough game for him. But he's been in the NFL since, 2018. He knows the game. He knows how to play. He knows how to just produce, man. So I don't think it's anything to be overly concerned about. Let's just see when the next time he plays how he looks, and then go from there. He also said, "And is Lamar injured? He seemed a little off the last game." See, a lot of Team Keep It Clean is thinking the same thing, that he seemed off in that last game. And again, I think he was just dealing with some soreness, maybe, from that Bills game. But I think overall he's fine. He said, "A lot of QBs have been injured." Yes, a lot. Obviously, Joe Burrow with that thing. Josh Allen had his nose broken. I forgot how, but he's fine. He ain't hurt. Tua mentally, he's injured. It's, oh my goodness. Wow. Whew. Again, so grateful for Lamar to be our quarterback. And I know there's some other quarterbacks. Oh, Jaden Daniels, he's out right now too. J.J. McCarthy, he's out right now too. So yeah, man, it's been going around. But anyway, he said, "Thanks again for everything you do for the squad." Oh no, Twan, I appreciate you, man. Next questions came from my guy, Jarvo. He said, "What must the Ravens do to win Monday night?" A lot of fans going to compare our last matchup with the Lions, but I'm not. What are your 3 key points for the offense and defense to make sure we win this game? For offense, score, run up the score, get it going. And also, number 2 would be to slow down their pass rush, do some quick passes, some screens. Hopefully the running game can really get going. Also, let's get our tight ends involved. Not force it or anything like that, but just add another element to this Baltimore Ravens offense to make us that much more dangerous, so the Lions, they can't see what's coming, because the receivers, they've been doing all the work in the passing game, which I got no problem with at all. But they maybe have been watching film for these past 2 games, and they be like, "Oh, Mark Andrews, he ain't been doing nothing. Charlie Cola, he ain't been doing nothing pass catching wise." But you could get them involved a little bit more, get them going. Now on defense, tackle well. That's the name of the game, tackle well, because missed tackles, they end up giving up big plays, but also continue not to give up any big plays. Ravens have been pretty good with not giving up the deep ball. They've given up some short stuff that has went a little bit longer, but they've been pretty good overall about not giving up the deep ball. Keep that up. Be very physical with these Lions wide receivers. Be very physical at the line with them. Jam them at the line. You're not going to jam them every single play. I get that. But mess up the timing with Jared Goff, so that pass rush, so they can have a better chance of getting to him. Mike Green, Adafe Away, Matabike, Travis Jones. It's going to be a big game for them. Huge game for them, because Jared Goff, he can move around a little bit, but he ain't no mobile quarterback like that. So Ravens defensive line, not that they're going to be able to feast, but they should have a better game to in this Monday Night Football matchup. He said the Lions have great backs and receivers, a pretty good defense, and a coach who will run up the scoreboard if given the chance. Oh yeah, I mean, when you score 52 points, yeah, you ain't afraid to run up no score. And he also said, what are your thoughts on this AI generated stadium for the Baltimore Ravens? Oh, I seen that picture going around. It's ugly. No, it was cool though. It was ugly, but it was cool. It was just the concept of the AI. Somebody made an AI stadium of all 32 teams. It just looked like something off of out of like Universal Studios. It looked like Harry Potter's world or something like that. That section of Universal Studios. But yeah, I mean, like, it was cool, I guess.